Hello everyone, welcome to New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. You may just notice the camera here, and this is because I've been talking to you before I've done my live. I'm making a video today of what do you do 10 minutes before you do your live. So I want to see those videos from you, and do look out for this one. So I hope you enjoy what I'm saying to you before I've said it to you. I'm kind of time warp. You'll see it in the future, but it's in my past what I've already said to you. So do have a look at that when it comes out. It's because I should have edited a video today and I just didn't really feel up to editing. And I thought, no, I need to make one. I haven't got enough videos otherwise. So I keep talking about making this video and suggesting to you, you do it. So I thought it would be a good idea to film, and then I can edit it another time. So let's start today. Today we're going to start with this. To do one very special shout out today, and I want to shout out a channel, Two Doves Bees. Two Doves Bees and Gardens. I'm getting mixed up because I'm filming, talking to the camera when I'm not talking to you live. So sorry about that today. And I will actually post a very particular video up of theirs. Let me just find it. It's a very special video they've made, and I want to share that video with you. So do go along and watch it. And this is the very special video. So it's two Doves, Bees and Gardens. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. I keep getting mixed up today. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. When I first knew their channel, I used to call it Two Bees. Have I done that today? Maybe I reverted back to that. I wasn't really listening to what I said, but I used to call it Two Bees, Doves and Gardens. It's Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. And John and Sarah, go over and check it out, but particularly that video there. If you don't see which one it is later on, then just watch all their videos. They did a lovely shout out to my channel, and they were the winners of the seeds, the seed giveaway that I do monthly. So do check out that. If you don't know about that, here's a little bit of information. as it says, all you've got to do is keep watching and drop some comments, and then I will select you at some point. So it's going to take me a long time, once a month, to pick someone, but you should all get a turn someday. And while we're talking about growing and gardening, I have planted now 2 mango seeds. Yes, 2 mango seeds. And I've spoken of this recently, that if you've never seen inside a mango, it's awesome. It's not just a seed inside that you would expect. And I obviously want to do little bits of filming as the mangoes grow and then make it into a bigger video. But I'm so keen to share with you the inside of a mango and how to start growing mangoes from shop bought mangoes, that I'm going to put the clip I've made already, how to get the seed out, where it is, what it looks like, and how to plant it. I'm going to do that on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. I'll run that on the ticker tape below, so you can check out the channel if you don't know the name. So it's on the ticker tape below here. And on that channel, I have a playlist called Dawn's Diary. And one of the Dawn's Diaries is going to have that information on it. So if you want to know how to grow mangoes from seeds, then check that out. The other thing I'm growing from something shop bought is a pineapple. Yes, I'm growing a pineapple, and of course I'll be sharing that with you. I'm not sure the one I actually grew this time is viable because the leaves weren't all healthy looking, but I can still show you the concept of it, and then maybe another time do another one. So that's something I'd like to share with you. So do check that out. Again, that will probably be as a Dawn's Diary. So it will probably be a Dawn's Diary. So as I say, they're on my other channel. So do look out for those. And we have Steve and Tina Jewel in the house. And I will say to Steve and Tina Jewel, as you're in already, you can see the camera there. You can see the camera in the background here. I'm filming, so you'll get a double shout out because you will be on this film I'm making about what I do 10 minutes before I start a live, and I thought I'd keep it rolling. So double shout out to you, Steve and Tina Jewel. Thank you for being here so much. And they're saying hi. You're saying hi to yourself watching it in the future. Saying hi to yourself. Yes. The other thing I want to say while we're on the gardening section is I also have bought a new tree. I have posted that video today of what the new tree is, because I didn't want to reveal it on a live. I want you to watch the video. So do check out today's video that was posted, and that will show you what my new tree is. It's a bit of a saga. It's not what I went to get, and there's more to come. But if you watch the video, you'll understand. You'll understand. But I've revealed what the new tree is in my garden. It's a fruit. Yes, it's a fruit tree. So that's what's happening there. Okay, so I've just been scrolling up and down because I'm doing 3 things at once now. I'm doing what I normally have to do on my live. I'm talking in the chat, and I'm in between things. I'm talking to the camera as well. Oh dear. So Dawn's in a bit of a kerfuffle now, finding out. Oh, there we are. That's where I need to be. Okay, let's go on to this. Bugs. Red bugs. Now, funny enough, I was going to make a video on a very, very, very common insect in Cyprus. And it's so common that I forget to film things. It's like, I guess, some people, let's say in England, filming all about ants as if people didn't know ants. That's how common it is. And I kept thinking, it's so common. And I thought, of course, it's not for other people. So I have talked about these before. They're red bugs and they have black markings on the back. Don't be fooled. There's many different types of red bug with black markings on the back, but these are very specific to Mediterranean countries. And I've talked about them before. Quite often you see them in pairs. And they do also get them in France. They've seen them. And because they see them in pairs, they call them after the police in France, in like the French word for police, because they go around in pairs. But you can see them in big clusters as well. And they are mostly found in moist areas. So if you've just watered, or for me, when I have a hose, I will find them all around the base of a hose. And the reason I got on with doing this film is I saw an American news channel doing a program, a news item about they've got suddenly a whole load of these Mediterranean bugs and they don't know about them and they're very worried. Farmers are saying, are they going to ruin our crops and are they dangerous? And other people said, will they bite? And to be fair, this channel didn't really know very much about them. And I did comment and I put, would you not think to ask someone from one of the countries that actually has them rather than speculate? And this is where a lot of gossip and situations come from, falsehoods, because they just speculate and they didn't actually have anyone with any knowledge of them. So I've done a video on them. It will be the next video out on this channel and that will be on Friday. And if you do have them where you are, I can't remember what region they were saying on the news channel, but whatever region it was, if you do have them, look at my video. And they're not dangerous, they don't bite, they're completely harmless. And yes, they will eat crops. They have been reported to eat roots because, as I say, they like moisture. And I actually got a great bit of footage as I wanted to do a video on them with them eating. I've got a tiny fig tree that I've grown from seed, probably about yay high, and they were going up to the sap on the top where there's like a dried fruit. I'm not doing anything with this fruit tree, so it's got dried out or drying out figs on, not full figs you could have eaten. You know, when you get one, it doesn't really grow properly because it's too young, the tree. And they were all around that, and the pointy green buds that you get on the end of the twigs, branches, and they were all on there. So I've got great footage of them running up and down, whatever else, which is good as well because it's also proof that they will eat any plantation that has sap. But as I say, before that, I've really only found them. They're not like eating everything in my garden. They are more prone to wanting to be around hoses. If you do drip irrigation, you're probably more likely to have them there. So they're not a problem. It's not like, oh my goodness, because we've got hundreds. Imagine ants. Most people know ants. There's like loads of them everywhere. They're not colonies as such like that normally. There was a lot there because they've just bred, and if you look carefully at the video, the very small ones are just plain red because they don't get their black dots till later. So that's coming up on Friday if you're interested in seeing that. And before we continue, let me just remind you, if you want to pay for anything for StreamYard, I do have a discount code which is in the description below this video, and here's a little bit of information on that. So don't forget to click on the discount code before you sign up for any payment. Let's move on to this. You cut me around the other way. Oh dear. Information did you know? On the 4th of November this year, it will be 18 years that I have lived here. Yes, 18 years. Did you know that? People often say, how long have you lived here? We didn't live in this property, first of all, when we came to Cyprus. We lived in Ziggy, which is a fishing village. As much as where I live is in the district of Limassol, we're nowhere near Limassol as people know it. We're like on the furthest edge of Limassol to the west. So if you say Limassol and people look on Google Maps, we're nowhere near there at all. So we're right on the boundary practically. And Ziggy is in Larnaca, like we're in Limassol. It's nowhere near Larnaca. If you got a bus or something to Larnaca, you'd have to get another bus or two to get to Ziggy. And it's a fishing village. I do have videos on, I think this channel, yes, on this channel, of Ziggy and my property in Ziggy. It's not my property, it's Mike's property. He bought Ziggy and I bought here. We weren't married when we were first together. Long stories about that, but that's all on my channel, so I won't reiterate all that. We rent it out for minimal rent just to have people there at the moment. We were going to sell it, and indeed I still want to sell it. There's no point in having to go all over there to deal with things, which I'll talk about in a minute. But long and short of it, the tenants owed money on it. And if you get rid of them, you can't really chase them. You can't figure out where they are. So all the while they're there, they now have to pay the money owed. So long and short of it. But anyway, that's another story. We're positive on this channel. Needless to say, we're going there tomorrow because we have to pay. I think tomorrow it's the annual property tax we have to pay. So we've got to go all the way over there tomorrow. Not looking forward to that. I'm not very good with long journeys, but all the way over there and to pay the property tax, because we don't pay all the bills for there. Obviously, we don't live there. The tenants pay. And for some reason, the bank now doesn't allow the bill of all owing on the property to be split. So we can't do anything other than go over and pay in that actual office. It's madness. And that's another reason to sell it. It cost us a lot of money to go all the way over there to pay once a year the tax. Yes. So we have to go all the way over there. And I'd like to say a big hello to Treasure Woman. And Treasure Woman, if you can see the camera here, you're getting a double shout out today, because when I release the video that I'm filming now in the background, I will be mentioning your channel on there as well as today. So check out Treasure Woman. Thank you for being here. Let's just check out the comments. Stephen Tina Jewel say no. Treasure Woman says hi. Stephen Tina near the border. Border of what do you call it, not states, I've got America in my head now, like zones, regions, not the north-south divide. No, I'm quite near the sea. I'm on the south. I'm the south. So yeah, I have got a video on this channel of where exactly I am in Cyprus. I do a map of Cyprus. I'm just looking now to see if I can find it. I do a map of Cyprus and I pinpoint exactly where I am. I tell you what you can do. You can Google it. Excuse me for looking away, but I'm trying to find a video for you. Just trying to think what it would be under. Yes, you can Google it you can find my house by going to Cyprus and typing in our house name, which is Olive Farm Retreat Cyprus, and that should locate me for you. What did I put it under? I'm not sure where. I don't think I filed it. Got holiday dates. It won't be there. Products of Cyprus. I think I just randomly put it somewhere. But there's a whole thing about the division of the country and all sorts of information there. Yes, it's not. Turkey is a separate country. This is where a lot of people get confused. The whole country is Cyprus, and it's because of war, they still haven't given it up. It's not Turkey. Turkey is another country which is far away from us. I wish I could find the video quickly and easily for you. And it explains it all. It is not Turkey. I'll have to find it. I don't know where I put it. I would have put it surely under Cyprus. Look at our capital city. Might be with my randoms. I'll have to find it and then put it up next time because it explains lots of things. Explains lots of things. Where would I put it? I will have to find it. I would have thought it was at the end. No, I'll have to find it and put it up another time for you, definitely. But it explains all sorts of things about the 1974 war and that we're the Republic of Cyprus and how it's all sorts of things. But I will find that video for you because people do often ask me a lot of questions, hence why I made the video, but it also pinpoints exactly where I am, so that's really interesting for you. So let's move on to this. Some time ago, you may know I did this craft of where I made this bag out of cross stitch, and I didn't have a use for it, but now I've decided I'm going to keep my embroidery. I know cross stitch is a form of embroidery, but I'm talking all other types of embroidery in there, because you may recall I showed you my next craft I was going to do was, let me get it out and show you. Let me see if I can find a picture for you. I was gifted this by a viewer, and it's embroidery rather than cross stitch. And I showed you last time how, I don't think I had it on me last time, but I mentioned it. The only embroidery other than cross stitch I'd done was at school, and I made that. But I can't remember how to do any of the stitches. I think we were told we had to do so many stitches and make a small motif. That's what I think that was. So I kept thinking, I want to do embroidery again. I've saved some YouTube videos. I've never watched them. It's one of those things where I didn't have the time. Excuse me. I washed my hair earlier and I just haven't sorted it. I shouldn't have touched it because I've just done the opposite to what I was seeing. Oh dear. Excuse me. Anyway. So I wanted to get back into it and didn't, and now this has pushed me to do it. So I said to you, what I would do is practice the stitches. Now in this kit, it doesn't tell you what stitches to do where. You can choose to do any stitches, any places. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there was a card I can't find that came with it. Let's find the card. Here it is. This is why I need to keep everything together in a bag. There was a card of a few stitches. So I guessed you could use any of those anywhere because it doesn't say any particularly anywhere. And if you recall, when I won some auction lots of cross stitch, there was a few other stuff within it as well. A few other stuff as well. And one was this little booklet, 100 embroidery stitches, 25p. So what I've done is gone through this card. You can see I've written a reference to those stitches that are also in here, because if I had trouble following them here, I thought I could go to here. So that worked out fairly well. So they've all got a number now on them. So I thought I'd begin by practicing only these stitches because they're supposed to be appropriate for the picture. And I said to you, my task was to practice all of those by this video. And I've done that. Yay! I've used the actual frame that came with it. So obviously I have to take this off when I start. And what I've done is where I've done the stitch, I've drawn in pencil because it's just an old bit of material. I've written in pencil the number in this book of which stitch it is, because if I do other projects and I really like the stitch, I can see how I do it. So obviously some of the things aren't going to, it's annoying me now because I'm sweating, still a heat wave here. I'm sweating, my hair's sticking to me. There was some I might not be able to do or didn't look very good in my opinion. Remember, this is my first practice since I was about 11 years old. That school one was 11. So I've done the pencil writing next to them. So if I go, oh, that's a really good one, I'm obviously going to have to keep going back and referencing again. Now, bear in mind, it's my first attempt. I didn't like the French knots. They all need practice, but with my disabilities of my hands, I'm having trouble doing loopy things around my fingers and whatever else. So I didn't like that one. I like best this one. What's that? 55. Let me tell you what that one is. 55. 55. Oops. Can't turn the page with one hand. Couching or couching. I don't know if it's pronounced couching or couching. Could be either. I like that one. I think that's very pretty. The daisy one, whatever that was, number 40, obviously, it's very hard for me to get things in perspective. So I think I've done pretty well. But for a first attempt, I've got a bit of a clue on that. Number 10 looks quite nice. What's number 10? 10. Split stitch. That's split stitch. 38 doesn't look bad. I hope you can see the numbers. Fly stitch. Now, it will need more practice because that looks more ferny. And in the book, it looks straighter. So it's going to need practice. This one was interesting. Hold on, where am I? Here, 49, the one above my finger, 49. They're sort of shell-like. They are bullion stitch. And if they're done properly, they're supposed to look like that. So that would be quite good, I suppose, for flowers or something. That wasn't bad for a first attempt. So my next job is to go through the whole book before I even start on that embroidery. I want to go through the whole book. I say the whole book. Towards the end, there's different types of embroidery, and it's where you use different material and you scoop up certain amounts of the thread. That's not a good example. So I won't be able to do those ones, things like that, where you use certain amounts of the canvas and whatever else. So I will go through, I did draw a line how many I've got to do, 60 something before it goes on to those. Yeah, see here, look, they catch the material and whatever. I won't be doing those ones. I'm sure it was 60 something I drew the line at. Here, 61 I've got to do before it goes on to the stranger ones. Now I have a question, if any of you do embroidery. Obviously with my perception, I have zero perception. You should see how I do it and try and keep in a line, because imagine being partially blind. I'm not, but it's like that. I can't tell where I'm putting the needle or whatever. So I do lots of stuff by touch and feel. So whereas, which finger, that one, whereas that's going along there, that wasn't too bad keeping straight, but you can see the top bits go up different amounts. Now they talk about how to stitch the top line and the bottom line. Is there something like, say, tailor's chalk that embroiderers can use to draw lines before they begin? I mean, that won't really help me, because if I draw a line with the ruler, it's never straight. As in, it's slanty, it's never horizontal or vertical, it's always on the skew, if anyway. But is there a way that if you're doing embroidery on plain material that you can actually keep a straight line? Is there a gadget, or what do you do? Tell me, embroiderers. I would like to know how I keep the lines straight. I mean, even the very top one, that's not straight. The second one's not so bad. I was trying to keep a straight line on 24, but as I say, you can see they're different heights. And as they say, you put the needle in the top line and bring out the bottom line. I get that, but can I physically somehow draw lines? And that's what happened with 40, the daisy type one. I'm not sure how, other than by sight, how you actually get things perfect sizing. So any tips on that would be great. Now, on the back of this embroidery book, you may know I've done another embroidery stitch. So where did I get that from? Well, when I got the auction cross stitch wings, and it had quite a few other things in it that weren't cross stitch, one of the things I got in there was one embroidery kit, and it's a full kit. Funny enough, a lot of the cross stitch stuff that I wanted weren't full kits, but the embroidery one at the time I wasn't that bothered with was a full kit, and it's this. And I thought, oh, perhaps embroidery, they don't give you set stitches that you have to use in set places. Yes, they do. There must be different types, because this one was very hard to follow. I was just looking at the diagram. It's a very complicated diagram. And the letters and things do signify different stitches in different places, but it does seem to be mostly long and short stitch, which seems easy. It looks all right. And they have a list here of what stitches to use in the pattern. And as you can see, I've then added what page number they are in the embroidery, 100 embroidery stitch book. So I've got a reference to how to do them when I get there. And you can see number 2 is the one I've added on the back cover. But this does have an example also of how to do them. So I'll have to see if I find this easy to follow or harder. Sometimes I get instructions and all of a sudden there's a bit I don't get. So it's a great reference to suddenly have another way of doing the stitches, another way. I think that's why I always made a good teacher. I explain things in different ways because there's people who learn with different concepts. Oh, Tina's still watching. Okay, Steve, hope all is well with you. Steve's off. Hope all is well. So I've now got that one to do. Now, if you recall or not, if you didn't see, there's 3 videos on the auction win if you want to look at them. Some of the things were started, and this one, that much is done. So that's for reference to say that bit in the corner that will end up being the really neat, lovely bit was not me. So I will have that to do at some point as well. But as I say, my aim now for next week is to do as many as time permits, more of these. And I want to get to that, whatever it was, 61 or whatever it was to do. I think the ones after, there was a couple in here prior to that are buttonhole stitches and that. So obviously I'm going to jump a few here and there. And I did look through, there's a couple I couldn't understand the instructions. So I won't do any of those ones. And as I say, this one I will now take out this hoop because that hoop belongs in the kit. But you may also remember I got tons of different size embroidery rings. So basically, wrong side, no, that was right. See how much hair I've got. I'm always going on about how much hair I've got. Now you can see I have so much hair. I'm just sweating. Still a heat wave here. Oh dear. Don't look at the screen. Oh, don't look at the screen. Oh my goodness. When you've got no perspective, life's terrible. So we'll now just tie the hair up. Yes. So there we go. It's all just sticking to my forehead. It's so hot. Yes. So basically that is now my next mission. Do as many more stitches as possible before my next live and share those with you. So that is the plan. And I will finish today by saying thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I will finish with quote corner of the day. And then I will finish with my outro to thank you all so much for being here and being so supportive of me. See you next.